In a world filled with Friendslop, we've finally found it. The Friendgem. Big Walk is a cooperative multiplayer game where you work together with your friends to solve puzzles on this island you find yourself on. You're dropped into the game with little to no explanation outside of some controls they teach you in the starting area. The rest is up for you and your posse to figure out on your own. This really heightened the sense of exploration and mystique for me, not knowing what our objective even is, where we are, and getting to figure that out as we play. Something that separates Big Walk from the other Friendslop, as you may have heard it called, is the fact that Big Walk is set in a handcrafted world as opposed to one that is randomly or procedurally generated. This allows for more nuanced world design that the game strongly benefits from. They give you a ton of unique ways to communicate with friends, even from afar, such as flares, laser pointers, binoculars, or even just simple poses. The drawback of this, though, is that the world will be the same every time you play. The puzzle solutions, however, do change, so there is some replay value in that regard. However, Big Walk is a full experience, and while a game being replayable is nice, I think the first time you play this is really special because of how well the world is built and the joy and wonder of exploring it for the first time. For reference, my first playthrough took me about 12 hours to reach credits with 9 people, and there's also some post-game stuff to do after that as well. While Big Walk supports up to 12 players, you can play with just 2. The game asks you if you have 2, 3, or 4 plus players, and scales puzzles appropriately so you can complete all the puzzles no matter how many players you have. No puzzle will require more than 4 players though. How you play from there is up to you. I personally have played in a small 3-player group, where we all stick together as much as possible, but also a larger 9-player group, where we would sometimes split up and divide and conquer. Even outside of the main attraction of puzzles, there's plenty of cool locales to explore and neat little items that aren't required, but can help you out or just add a little more fun to the mix. One such item was the radio that lets you listen to music as you play, or you could just tune out your friends with it. And while we're on the topic, the music was simple, but in a nice ambient way. The game also looks pretty great, and I love the contrast of the cartoony characters versus the realistic world they find themselves in. I did encounter a few issues with the in-game voice chat, with certain players being unable to be heard by one player but not another, which led to some frustration though. The meat of this game is in the puzzles, so I don't want to give too much away as to ruin your experience, but they can range from anything as simple as chilling in a room with your friends for 5 minutes. No, really, that's just the puzzle. To finding ways to communicate symbols to each other when talking isn't an option. There's plenty of ways for you to go about some of these, and I loved how creative you can get with the simple options that are given to you. I truly believe that this game is one of a kind currently, as a multiplayer game that allows more than 4 players and having an ending rather than being an endless gameplay loop. I hope other developers take note of this because I would love to see more games of this vein in the future.